You will not believe the country that is number 1 on this list. Here are the top 10 most corrupt countries in Africa. Let's begin. Number 10. Zimbabwe. The country was trending recently because of the Al Jazeera undercover documentary that exposed gold smuggling and corruption. The documentary was damning. It implicated the highest officials of the country involved in the corruption scandal, including the president. Ironically, the president was called number 1 in the documentary. Research has revealed that Zimbabwe is among the countries with the highest level of corruption in Africa. Reports have revealed that Zimbabwe loses more than $5 million daily due to high corruption rate within the public sector. The country is also rocked with allegations of lack of accountability among many public officials for funds that were meant for public use. The country's government has also passed numerous laws to benefit government and public officials rather than the nation as a whole. A lot of government anti-corruption agencies have been established in Zimbabwe to prevent corruption. However, they all appear not to be effective. For instance, there is the Zimbabwean Anti-Corruption Commission, which has very little to no ability to prevent corruption in the country. Number 9. Burundi. Corruption in Burundi is systemic, yet programs aiming to support integrity and good governance are undermined by local-level relationships and informal practices by public agents. A 5-month investigation of tax collectors in Burundi reveals the rationale behind corruption behaviors at the street level. Anti-corruption reforms that take account of social and political pressures could point a way forward. It appears that only a sociological study and review of policies can save Burundi from its present corruption state. This is because the current system of policies and institutions created to fight corruption in the country has not been effective to ease the weight of corruption in Burundi. Rather, the rate of corruption is increasing and alarming in such a way that it has triggered the country to be in a state of turmoil and instability, therefore making it one of the most corrupt countries in Africa. Number 8. Chad. In addition to the security challenges caused by the insurgency, Chad is also plagued by corruption. The economy of the country suffers a massive hit as a consequence. Anti-corruption laws are not enforced to the full extent. Corruption practices are fast becoming the norm in the southwestern African country. Severe laws and penalties against corruption in the country that are stringent enough to stop anyone from involving themselves in the practice are existent. However, this does not deter criminals who commit corrupt acts in Chad. Instead, they target, trap, and impose sanctions and penalties on alleged opponents of the government or those in the opposition. Number 7. Guinea-Bissau. Guinea-Bissau occupies the 7th spot on the list of most corrupt countries in Africa. The highest level of corruption in the country has engulfed the system and led to a breakdown of the otherwise well-organized government departments. In June 2022, the Bissau mayor was suspended by the government for alleged corruption. The government is also allegedly involved in illegal drug trade. Because of the state's involvement in the drug trade, the United States has referred to Guinea-Bissau in the past as a narco state, a statement that the people in the country are not particularly pleased about. Guinea-Bissau is a major hub for cocaine from South America on its way to Europe. Number 6. The Democratic Republic of Congo. As the Democratic Republic of Congo emerges from a long period of violence and instability, it struggles with a legacy of entrenched corruption at all levels of society, threatening social and political institutions with failure. Repeated political crises, poor infrastructure, an underdeveloped regulatory environment, lack of institutional capacity, and weak rule of law fuel the country's persistent government crisis. The Democratic Republic of Congo is a country that seems to thrive by repression and oppression, particularly for those that speak up against the corruption or take steps to curb the corruption. The system of democracy in place is weak, as it does not resist the corrupt policies of the government officials who rule the land. Number 5. Libya. Since the end of Gaddafi's regime in 2010, Libya has been thrown into complete chaos. The economy has plummeted, and both the private industry and public sectors have plunged into a deep level of corruption. The once flourishing oil sector is now a victim of vandalism and corruption. The commercial sector is in chaos, as it is arbitrarily and illegally controlled by the government that suppresses any form of competition in private companies. Libya is recognized as one of the most corrupt countries in Africa. Number 4. Sudan. Sudan makes the list of most corrupt countries in Africa due to widespread corruption across all sectors in the nation, especially the business sector. The country is plagued by corruption, which is also widespread within the political arena, where government officials abuse authority and favoritism is fast becoming the norm of the day. Sudan is, without a doubt, one of the most challenging environments for anti-corruption in the world. Corruption is present in all sectors and across all branches and levels of government. Public servants are known to demand bribes for services that individuals or companies are legally entitled to. The government officials hold direct and indirect stakes in many enterprises, which distorts the market through patronage. And finally, the head of state and government is believed to have embezzled up to $9 billion from oil revenues. Number 3. Equatorial Guinea. Some reports suggest that the control of corruption within Equatorial Guinea is extremely low. Citizens reportedly no longer have confidence in the abilities and the performance of public officials, as they believe that they solely serve their private gain. Equatorial Guinea is one of the most corrupt countries in Africa. President Obiang's son was even arrested for alleged corruption. The country is one of the wealthiest nations, with a GDP greater than that of Italy, South Korea, or Saudi Arabia, and yet the country's citizens live in desperate poverty, with over 60% struggling to survive on less than $1 a day. Despite abundant natural resources, especially in oil and gas, and the billions of dollars these resources bring in, the country is marked by chronic hunger, a crumbling education system, frequent blackouts, poor sanitation, and disease. Number 2. South Sudan. South Sudan is another African country that is particularly ravaged by corruption. It appears that everything, as little as engaging in commercial ventures, is not successful without bribes. The justice system of South Sudan is also plagued by corruption, and it is in a position where it cannot address the issues within the country. Corruption permeates all sectors of South Sudan and all levels of the state apparatus, and manifests itself through various forms, including grand corruption and networks along tribal lines. Since independence, the country has taken steps to promote transparency and accountability to fight corruption. South Sudan's anti-corruption framework is still in its infancy. Where legal instruments exist, lack of capacity, resources, and politics will often hamper effective implementation. Now, before I tell you the number 1 most corrupt country in Africa, please subscribe to the channel. Now here we go. Number 1. Somalia. Somalia is reported to be the most corrupt country in Africa. The high rate of corruption in the country can be attributed to turmoil in the country, the state of anarchy, and instability within the country. Bribery has become a regular feature of the day, as some government officials accept bribes, thus ignoring the fact that illicit and illegal acts are committed. While Somalia's constitution bans all sorts of corruption, the process for implementation of these laws isn't being followed. Institutions are unrecognized and thus are unable to stand up against the magnitude of corruption that is sweeping across the country. There isn't a working structure or rule that governs the control of state operations, which results in a constrained and stagnant economic system. Thank you for watching this video. Do not forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.